What's good, everybody? It's Big Game James, man. I'm in these streets. I'm in these 6 streets today. I ain't got no damn COVID or nothing, but them girls was sick and they gave it to me. So I got it. So got the gloves, got the mask, all that. Let me pull it down, make sure you can hear me. But I just want to make a video right quick because I just happened to be looking at a show called Breakfast Ball. And I don't want to really watch these talk shows like that or anything. But this talk show in particular was talking about Schottenheimer. And I was like, what am I going to talk about today? Let me talk about the coach because that's Libra gang, dog. And you know I told you we got that vibe. So they started talking about the run game. And then basically the next excerpt they're talking about, Schottenheimer is underestimated hire. So I want you to listen to him because Mark Schlereth's on there, former offensive lineman, Super Bowl champion with the Broncos, was with the Redskins. He's kind of controversial. He says some stuff. I like him. I think he keeps it real. I think sometimes he says some stuff out there to kind of maybe get some people riled up. But I like him. He's an offensive lineman. I've always liked listening to him. I think he keeps it real, and I like his views. And then Eric Mangini, I really like Eric Mangini because I don't think he has any of that fluff. Yeah, Mangini, he don't come with that fluff. Remember, we in these work streets. But he don't come with that fluff to me. He comes a real analyst. He doesn't try, to me, in my opinion, just stay stuff to, I want to get heard. Because even these athletes be doing it like, some of them guys out there, I don't need to say no names, but some of them athletes out there that they know better than what they're saying, and they still say the crazy stuff out their mouth. And I feel like they say it just to get people to listen to what they just said, subscribe to their podcast, or start, what I'm saying? Everybody's trying to get somebody to watch them, and some people just say whatever to get you to watch them. So I just feel like a lot of these athletes are doing that now. But Schlereth and Mangini talk about the Cowboys running game first. Listen to them and see what they say. Tell me what you think. Then I'll be back, and then we'll talk about what we think Schotty is going to look like in his first year. Because I think it's going to surprise a lot of people. I had a number, but I'm going a little bit higher now. So check me out when I come back.
For me is, can they run the football? Rookie running back plus Deuce Vaughn is the little guy in his second year, probably not a huge part of the offense. If they can run the football successfully, and you said yesterday that knowing Schottenheimer the way you do, that's going to be a focus of his, the Dallas Cowboys can be a double-digit win team.
I'll stop you. They will run the football.
Okay.
Under Schottenheimer, they will run the football, and I think one of the things about him is he understands the value of a 2-yard run. There's a lot of coaches in this league that don't understand the value of being physical, don't understand the value of
so what's the value of a 2-yard run?
The value of a 2-yard run, as long as you finish it well and you're dominating a line of scrimmage, like those things become 4 and 5 and 6-yard runs later in the game. The other thing it is there's 2 types of play action from my perspective. There's run action. That really comes off that run game, and then there's play pass stuff, right? Which is more of a deep drop, 7-step drop, 7 protectors. But like, there's 2 things that you absolutely operate that way that actually bail your quarterback out and create one-on-one big-time plays in the passing game. So I believe that he understands the value of physicality, the value of running the football, and you'll see just a much better offense under Dak because he is healthy, but because they will put that value on running the ball.
Yeah, and I don't see Dak as being the guy who defines a ceiling in Dallas. And I think that's been the mistake there, is when they've tried to make it so where he's passing 40 times a game, it hasn't been very good, and it's not going to be very good. He's at his best when there's some sort of balance. And to your point about the running game, the other value is that it takes some pressure off the offensive line. If you're dropping back to pass every single down, and the defensive line is just teeing off. If you're willing to commit to the run, it's a little bit like body blows in boxing. At some point, those are going to add up, and you're going to have a breakthrough. But the balance of the offense is the key to me for Dak to be really successful.
And by the way, Coach, no surprise that the offensive lineman at the table would get great joy out of a 2-yard run.
Well,
but there is very from it.
For those that you gave the ball up.
Right, there is value to it. Like, one of the things, and you're talking about pass protection, right?
Yep.
Like, if you give up 7 sacks in a game, it's not your offensive line that sucks, it's your play caller.
It could be the offensive line.
A lot of it's your play caller.
Everybody wants to nail the offensive line. There's a lot to it.
Right, and so I always look at it like building a deck.
Okay.
Like, okay, so you could ask me to build a deck. And if you give me the lumber and just a hammer, I can build you a deck, but don't stand on it because it's going to fall down.
Okay.
Like if I'm going to build a deck, I need a level, I need a saw, I need some nails, I need a hammer, right? I need and I can build you a deck you stand on. So pass protection is a lot like that. Like if you run the ball and then you set up 3-step drops and 5-step drops without a hitch, I can attack. Now I have a tool belt as an offensive lineman, and I can go after you. Like, yes, you understand what I'm saying?
All right, so I'm back now. I wanted you to check that out and give me your thoughts about what they thought about how they're going to run the ball and they're going to have a run game. And, I was on the Nick Chubb train for a little bit. I can't lie and say I wasn't on the Nick Chubb train, but then I got to really watching him, and I did videos on Miles Sanders. I did a video on Javonte Williams. I did a little small video on Jaden Blue. And the more I just watched him, and then, you still got Phil Mafia in the cut. The more I just watched him, I just feel like it's going to be okay. Like, I like Nick Chubb. I love Nick Chubb. But it ain't like Nick Chubb ain't had major injuries the last 2 years. Yeah, you talk about power football, but I feel like Miles Sanders got a chip on his shoulder. I feel like Miles Sanders, that's why I made that video. I feel like he got a chip on his shoulder, and he want to prove that it wasn't just him. And I feel like he's going to be better. Javonte Williams, I feel like it was health with him. And I feel like just the staff just wanted some other guys. And when you got a great line, which I said this offensive line is going to be one of the top offensive lines in football by next year. I said that. I've been saying that. I ain't been listening to nobody, copying off nobody. I've been saying all these statements way ahead of time. So you feel me? So I've been saying that this offensive line is going to be the next Great Wall of China. I've been saying it. So you got a really good offensive line. We've seen it with the Kansas City Chiefs and other teams. You don't have to have a great running back. If you got a really good offensive line, it makes that running game better. So that's why I think the offensive line and the running game are going to go hand in hand and be better for that. So that's why I think that committee and having that sprinkling that Jaden Blue as your explosive guy is going to surprise some people. Now, this next excerpt that they're talking about is us underestimating Schottenheimer as the coach and the hire. I've been saying that from day one, dog. Libra gang. And I know a lot of y'all be like, man, what the? Yeah, I know y'all be saying Libra gang. Yeah, because he's a Libra and I'm a Libra. Feel me? His birthday, like, literally 2 days away from me. He's literally 1 year younger than me. Feel me? So one thing I loved about Schottenheimer is his age. I said I don't want no old-ass coach. I didn't want no old-ass Bill Belichick, no old-ass Pete Carroll. I don't want no old-ass coach. So you got a young guy, 50, he's young. So he can still relate to those young players. They need that. You know what I'm saying? And he been in the league like, 20-something years, and he only 50. So he came in real young, so he knows. I like that. And just the things they were saying about him, I have been saying. Schotty will adjust. Libra gang, Libra, thing about a Libra or just in general, he going to have a set thing that he going to want to do. But the biggest thing that I love, he'll listen. He'll listen to other ideas. It won't just be my way or the highway. The influx of all other opinions will help. You get what I'm saying? I just feel like Schotty's the right man for this team. He's the right coach for this team. I'm not dissing Mike McCarthy. I like McCarthy. I wanted him over here. And even to this day, I'm still not dissing him. But the more I look at it, and the more I look at Garrett Noza, I just feel like Schotty is the better fit. Schotty is a better fit than McCarthy. Even though McCarthy's a good coach and they won games, Schotty's attitude and style is different, and I think it's better for the team. And I think the team is really going to flow off it. So I just made a post where I said when Parcells left in 2006, he retired abruptly, and then they changed over to Wade Phillips, and then Romo had started that half a year, and then 2007 he went crazy. And they were 13-3, crazy. I'm going to jump out on a limb, dog, and this ain't drinking no, please don't say I'm drinking no mother-sucking Kool-Aid, because I'm not. I'm just telling you what I see. I gave Cowboys 9 to 10 wins because they already got talent. And if they stay healthy, I don't see why you can't get 10 wins from this team, even with the schedule. I feel like Schottenheimer's going to be the difference in them gauntlets of games at the end of the year. He's going to be the difference. And that's what we're going to be seeing. So all the people that hated on the hire, you're going to see the difference in his coaching win them big games. Because I feel like Cowboys are going to win some big games this year that they usually always lose. And I feel like coaching is going to be the difference, and it usually never is. And I think Schottenheimer is going to be the difference. And having Eberflus over there, who was a head coach on the defense, like they were talking about, it makes it easier for you to just focus on one thing. I think that 13-3 was 07's record. I see Cowboys, I said 9-10. They can get 12. They definitely can. They can get 13. They definitely can. But coaching is going to have to make the difference, and I think it actually will this year. I don't know what it's going to do in the playoffs. I don't know nothing about that. But I think it's going to make a difference this year, especially in that regular season with these big games. We always want the Cowboys to win, and they choke. I don't think it'll do it. But I did a lot of talking. Listen to what they got to say. It's going to end the video, and give me your thoughts in the comments. Big Game James, I'm out. Peace.
I think people are underestimating what Brian can do. So Brian was my offensive coordinator in New York when I was with the Jets. And one of the things that I really liked about Brian is that he put a lot of pressure on the defense. So we had played San Diego the year before. He was there. He was part of that system. And his offensive system put a ton of pressure on our defense in New England because there were shifts, motions, multiple formations. Everything was challenging. So that I bring him in for the interview. Really smart, had a conviction on what he wanted to do offensively, but also very open to other things that we wanted to add. So we wanted to add elements of what we did in New England, some things that we had been doing, they had been doing in New York, the things he was bringing. So I liked that part of his approach as well. He was willing and to run the ball and be committed to running the football, which I thought was important. So Brian, I know wasn't the sexy hire or the exciting hire necessarily for Dallas, but I think it's an underrated hire because he's just as capable as any of these other first-time head coaches, and I think he's going to be excellent.
Yeah, I always liked Brian. The beef as a Jet fan with Brian was after you were gone in the AFC Championship game against the Steelers, the play calling at the goal line, which Jet fans will never forget, and some of the decision-making there. But what I liked about Brian Schottenheimer, look, he's a football lifer. His dad obviously is Marty Schottenheimer, so he grew up breathing, eating, and talking football, which I think there's a lot of merit to that, number one. Number two, he was able to run successful offenses with young quarterbacks, veteran quarterbacks, and rookie quarterback in Mark Sanchez. Now, the Jets with Sanchez obviously went to ground and pound with Rex after you went to Cleveland, but he was able to adapt to what he had. He wasn't just one of those guys, which we see in sports a lot, where I only know how to do it one way, and that's the only way I'm going to do it, and the personnel I have is irrelevant because this is how I call a football game. So I think he will be good. I can't say the Cowboys are winning a Super Bowl, but if Dak Prescott stays healthy and the Cowboys can figure out how to run the football, do not be surprised if that offense clicks. Well, I like Brian Schottenheimer a lot.
I do as well, and you know, I take notes like constantly when I'm calling games. Some of the things that I've taken away from Brian Schottenheimer as an offensive coordinator. So here's three things I really like. One, he's a play repeater. That to me says, hey man, we have an identity. We're going to run the ball. We're going to repeat plays. We're going to make you stop us. Right? We're not going to stop ourselves or out-trick ourselves. We're going to do the things that we do well. The other thing I liked was formationally and personnel grouping. I'll give you the same formation, I'll give you the same personnel group, but I'll run different stuff out of that. So I'll get you set in a system defensively and make you feel like, okay, this is what's coming, and then something else is going to hit. We're going to hit you with something else, right? So he's really good with that. And then the other thing is fishing for information. Using a play that was successful, what is the information that I garnered from that play, and how can I use that to change that play or to attack that defense in a similar way?